going to be an amazing day.
Hi you all, welcome. My name is 𝙇𝙚𝙖, aka 𝐷𝐼 Tarot, and this is my video for Hoodoo Honey Jars. Honey jars are a staple for every altar and is definitely a tool that I recommend for people on all points and walks of their spiritual journey to be used to help manifest your dreams into fruition. I created a honey jar in June of last year to assist me with building and buying my very first home. It has been well over a year since that honey jar was made, and I moved into the house that I built by myself in June of this year, 2020. And I wanted to share this with you all today so you can also use this tool to help manifest your own personal goals. So a couple of tools that you're going to need you can find at your local dollar store or your grocery store. You will need a mason jar or a empty and clean sealed jar. You're going to need a sweetener. Any sweetener is okay. I'm using molasses today, but you can use honey, corn syrup, or a dry sweetener such as granulated sugar. You're going to need a green standing candle, a tool to inscribe your candle, a pen that you'll use to write your petition, and a piece of paper. A parchment paper is recommended in the books, but you can use any type of paper, and I'm just using computer paper today. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to prepare your jar. With any jar you use, you're going to want to clean it. I use Florida water and a water mixture in a spray bottle that I use to spray inside the bottle, the jar, and the lid, and I would clean it out with a rag or a paper towel. Once your jar is dry, you'll sit it over to the side and you can begin to prepare your petition. So for your petition, you will draw a circle in the center. And the idea is to write your prayer and your petition in the circle without lifting the pen. I am going to be doing my honey jar for my business. I will be praying and petition for success, prosperity, and an abundance of clients in my business and career, 𝐷𝐼 Tarot. So you go ahead and take your pen and you will begin writing your prayer on the petition. I like to write in cursive because it's pretty. And again, the idea is not to lift your pen, so you'll need to make sure that you turn the paper as you write with the pen still touching the table. So I've gone ahead and written my petition in the circle. I pray and petition for success, abundance, and prosperity in my business, 𝐷𝐼 Tarot, as soon as possible, is what I wrote. So if you do happen to lift your pen, I would just start over. Practice makes perfect. So once you have written your petition in the circle, you're going to go ahead and sign your name 3 times. And now is the time to add any prosperity herbs if you have them. If not, it's completely fine. One very common prosperity herb that you probably have in your kitchen is bay leaves. You'll take a whole bay leaf and you can write your petition on the bay leaf, or I just wrote prosperity on mine because it's what I'm working towards. If you're advanced in herbs, now will be the time to include additional prosperity herbs such as 5-finger grass, bayberry, Irish moss, and sassafras root. Use your herbs in pairs of 3, no more than 13. The more herbs you use, the more difficult it'll be to fold your paper, so keep that in mind. Once you have your herbs in the center, if you're using them, you're going to go ahead and anoint your paper with your oil. If you do not have anointing oil, prosperity oil, that's fine also. I have my oil that I made myself a year ago. I'm going to go ahead and anoint the corners of my paper. And then you're going to fold the paper towards you until you cannot fold it anymore. And again, the more herbs you use in the center, the less folds you'll be able to make, and that is completely fine. So once you have your petition folded, you can put it to the side, and now it's time to prepare your jar. So your jar should be clean and dry, and what you're going to do is just fill it up with your sweetener of choice. I'm using molasses because it's easy to find. And you'll just fill it up completely to the top. Once you have that sweetener filled, you'll go ahead and put your petition in the center. And then you're going to want to taste your jar. The idea is that you taste the sweetness of the jar to help your manifestation powers work faster. You can use a spoon. You just dip it in. You can use your finger as well. You'll taste the spoon. And then you seal the jar. And that's how you prepare a honey jar. So the key to making this work is through candle magic. So you'll need to do your prosperity work, which is best done during the waxing or the full moon energy, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You're going to take your candle and you're going to inscribe your name on it and your birthday. I've already done that here. If you have your anointing oil, you can anoint the candle as well with your oil. And because I'm trying to draw prosperity into me, I'm going to coat the candle in the wax downward. This is the method that works for me. Do what works for you. So you'll take your candle, light the bottom so that a little wax can form to help seal the candle on your honey jar. And then it sticks. And now you're ready for your conjuring. Again, prosperity work is best done on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday during the waxing and full moon energy. You'll put your honey jar on your altar. You can say your special prayer over it, and you just simply light the candle. The more you do your candle magic, the faster the honey jar energy will work. This is not anything that's going to be an overnight spell. It is definitely something that takes time. But once you receive your rewards, it will be greatly worth the wait. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and happy conjuring.